distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, friends from all walks of life, and the young people who will lead our present and future. Thank you very much for all your kind words. I am deeply honored by the recognition that the Thai Beverage Public Company has placed in my lifelong endeavor to bring about positive change to increasing access to essential drugs for all, regardless of race, sex, ethnicity, social strata, and especially for the most vulnerable segments of societies, particularly the poor, women, children, and the immigrants and stateless people. It is delightful to be present, even though virtually, among visionary leaders at this gathering in the midst of Bangkok lockdown caused by the third wave of the COVID-19 pandemic and its associated new variants. For 18 months since the first outbreak, although I have constantly been under movement restrictions, I have never stopped working. In fact, I feel the sense of urgency to continue to empower communities near and far in Thailand to invent new methods of qualitatively produced herbal medicines to strengthen the Thai health system at its fundamentals, the local health personnel, medical equipment and supplies, and to advocate for men, women, and the youth at the grassroots level to economically and socially participate and be partners in our endeavor. My works now focus on the communities most are located in the remote and security challenging regions of Thailand, namely the three southern border provinces of Yala, Pattani, and Narathiwat, along the northern Thai-Myanmar border at Mae district in Tak province, and in the villages of northeastern Skon Nakhon and Surin provinces. This chapter, and very likely the last chapter of my life-saving journey, commenced in 2009 when I returned from the African continent after spending 10 years there, assisting and providing technical know-how in manufacturing of HIV/AIDS and anti-malarial drugs, constructing new drug factories, and renovating the existing manufacturing facilities in some African countries, and teaching the local personnel on quality assurance of medicines in 17 African countries. I believe in teaching people how to fish for themselves rather than giving them fish. Empowerment matters. Empowerment helps to create equality and for the poor people to attain the overriding pride of human dignity. Through my countless journeys in this endless health mission, I have witnessed the economic and social transformation of the Thai communities and the individuals involved in our various projects. I have an abiding faith in global sustainable development and in its pursuit. I follow the footsteps of His Majesty the King Bhumibol the Great's signature approach, philosophy of sufficiency economy or SEP, to understand the local people's desire to be accepted by them and to help them develop their full potentials. To put it simply, we must empower the local communities so that they can stand up for themselves, be creative, and take care of their communities, and take ownership of the efforts to solve the problem at hand. Thus, the notion of explosion from within. Of course, there is no one-size-fits-for-all solution, but we can base practice and solutions, innovation, achievements, and mistakes from each other. By embracing the SEP and holistic approach to development, I have worked with all stakeholders, namely hospitals, provincial district health personnel, the business companies, regional university, local schools, religious community leaders, farmers, women, and the youth. In the local communities in remote areas of southern Thailand, under the framework called Lankasuka model, for 12 years, to alleviate poverty and generate additional income for local farmers in organic herbal plant cultivation and processing. The majority of the population are Muslims, about 82%, with the Yawi language predominantly used in verbal and written language. Unrest and violence since 2004 have undermined trust between the central government and the local population, many of whom are disaffected by the perceived injustice and heavy-handedness of the crackdown. They feel mistreated due to their ethnic Muslim identity, as well as deprived of infrastructural development, investment and job opportunities, education and good standard of living. Against this backdrop, I discovered the huge potential in natural herbal resources in the southern border provinces and the genuine will of the local people to unite and work in harmony in order to create job opportunities, generate additional income, and promote their health and well-being through widespread use of Thai traditional medicines from organic medicinal plants produced locally. They collaborated with me in the research on the fauna and flora unique to southern topography and climate, and the medicinal plants grown in their districts or villages. They underwent the training on Good Agricultural Practice or GAP, Post-Harvesting Technology, Good Manufacturing Practice or GMP, as well as methods of preliminary processing of raw materials prior to delivery to the factory and the needed tools and machineries. Our collaboration and bond of relationship have grown from strength to strength over the years, and everyone who takes part in our various projects get happiness and satisfaction in return for their contribution. I have also fulfilled another dream. My dream comes in the shape of a truck that weighs 5 tons. This truck was donated to Gry's Foundation by Thai Beverage Public Company Limited. My team and I then design and install tailor-made herbal medicine processing machines in the back of the truck in May 2018. It is Thailand's first prototype mobile herbal raw material processing truck and has passed vigorous and strenuous operation tests in the production of dry curcumin to preserve its high active ingredient. Right at the cultivation area, the herbal medicinal plants are quickly processed to produce fresh ingredients without having to wait for long for collecting big volume to send to faraway factory. It helps the farmers save up on the transportation shortage, storage, labor and energy costs, and especially shortens the production time. Inside the mobile herbal processing truck, specialized machines wash, slice, and oven the herbal plants in microwave, which helps to reduce the drying process from 4 to 7 days to only 2 hours. The speedy processing of small amount of herbal plants gathered at one time decreases the chances of them getting rotten or causing fungus. This new innovation in the installation of specialized herbal processing machines on the truck for the cleaning, slicing, drying, and packing of the herbal raw materials set a new standard for learning on the development of herbal medicine. The unique processing method of organic herbal plants grown according to GAP contributes to the conservation of the natural environment by not dumping waste onto the surrounding area. Thorough quality control process at every step of processing ensures the issuance of quality certificate of products prior to delivery. 1 year later, an old rusty orange bus formerly belonged to the Electricity Generating Authority of Thailand or EGAT was donated to Gry's Foundation in partnership with Faculty of Pharmaceutical Science, Prince of Songkhla University, and Tipco Biotech Company Limited. We transformed the bus into a prototype mobile herbal quality control laboratory. It has been in service in the South since 2019. The rationale behind this invention lies in my attachment to the great importance of the quality control process of medicines to ensure both their efficacy and safety for public consumption. This principle applies to herbal medicines in order to manufacture the premium products filled with the highest active ingredients of medicinal property. Recently, I have completed the construction of a third truck, a specialized mobile herbal processing unit for the production of Endographis paniculata. While I was doing the test run on the first mobile herbal raw material processing truck's operation, I visited Suansaranrom Psychiatric Hospital in Surat Thani province in the south of Thailand to work with the director of the hospital, his medical personnel and patients suffering from the mental effects of narcotic drugs, whom I would like to call them my students, all of them young men and women, on the rehabilitation of their health. The students learned to grow vegetables, herbs, and medicinal plants and shortly delivered their product to the market to earn income. They also learned skills and techniques in herbal plant processing, which enabled them to make a living when they return home. Ladies and gentlemen, the success of Suansaranrom Model Project, which continues in its third year, does not depend on medicinal plants alone. The person's commitment is a powerful curing force in the treatment. Their attitude of self-worth and recognition by those around them will return and sustain them to be good and productive citizens. It is our collective duty of care that will make a positive impact on the future of our society. The track and Suansaranrom model propelled me to travel to Peru in Latin America in September 2019 for a collaboration project between Thailand and Peru on the rehabilitation of the vulnerable people from narcotic drugs by herbal medicine and its income-generating livelihood. In 2016, Peru was the second largest cultivator of coca with an estimated of 46,500 hectares under cultivation, despite the Peruvian government's effort to address drug addiction and trafficking. Domestic consumption of illicit drugs is growing, particularly in mid-sized cities east of the Andes and where much of the drug production occurs, and in coastal transit cities where most of the Peruvian people live. There are approximately 60,000 people addicted to cocaine and a larger number of marijuana users, while the number of treatment centers cannot keep up with the demand. Abuse of the low price and highly addictive coca paste is also increasing. This project was put on hold due to the COVID-19 pandemic, and I hope it can resume in the near future. Meanwhile, I found myself traveling to north to Mysot district in Tak province on Thailand's long natural border with Myanmar and encountered stateless women and children who could easily become the victims of human trafficking due to their non-existing legal status and economic hardship. This led to my two cooperation projects with UN Women on the setting up of Thai-Myanmar Co-Organic Farm Learning Center on a 7.9-acre piece of land for female migrants from surrounding Muslim communities, and with Dr. Cynthia Mong of the Child Development Center of Mae Tao District on the Mysot Model Project on the permaculture in agriculture and similar workshop for the stateless children respectively. Concurrently, I had a chance to visit Tak Central Prison and initiated the project to promote health and poverty reduction for detainees at Tak Central Prison by organizing workshops on good agricultural practice. Now I work with a number of large prisons in Thailand, including the implementation of the project on growing organic vegetables for detainees at Ratburi Central Prison and with the Thai Small and Medium Enterprises. In addition, Grisana Kraisin Foundation works in partnership with Puttaraksa Foundation of DT Group Company DTGO and Charan Pokapan Group to award hundreds of scholarships to disadvantaged students in border districts as well as children of former prisoners. I envisage that all these health strengthening projects will act as a sustainable development models that others can learn from and make an application in their own context. Ladies and gentlemen, I firmly believe in the human potentials and their capacity building to be creative and inventive. Life goes on, with or without the pandemic. We live in exciting times, challenging yes, unpredictable yes, but steeped in numerous possibilities if we choose to make things happen and never give up until we reach our goals. This is a belief instilled in me by my grandmother, who was a nun and could not read and write, but she taught me many good lessons and life experiences. Let us engage all sectors of society, government, the business sector, educational institutions, communities, and individuals to realize this altruistic vision, empowerment, quality, and dignity for all. Thank you very much.